Hey, great evening, everyone. Welcome to Chat with Kat and Friends. It's your girl, Kat. I am so excited and honored to be with you guys on tonight. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you. I had to go back out and come back in. So my little note for everybody, just thanking you for being present on tonight has disappeared. Let's see. Okay. There we go. So, you guys, how is everyone doing? It is marvelous, magnificent Monday. I pray you're having a wonderful and awesome day on today. You make it great that you sow into it as best that you can to make a great day, to speak life into your day, to speak wellness into your day, your life, your environment, those great things. This is a wellness network, so that's what we do here. And I thank you so much for your support. I thank you for your prayers and everything that you have attributed to, because you sown into this as well. Thank you so very much. It is so much appreciated, today and forevermore. However, that should go. And in the businesses that will develop and come forth, we are thanking him. We're going to thank God in advance for his merciful hand of mercy and protection upon us on today and the days to come. So thank you. Hey, good afternoon, good evening. Good evening. It's definitely not afternoon. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining again on tonight. We have with us today, and I'm oh so excited. Look, and we're gonna get through this. I'm gonna say it. We're gonna get through this without great interruption. But me and Dr. E, we had a discussion. We were talking prior to going live, and everything just shut down. He was letting me know of this great and wonderful. I mean, I don't know any other word for, but just great and wonderful word that he'll be bringing forth on tomorrow. And wow, it is a word for the masses. And it shut everything down. It shut everything down. Computer wise, computer and technology wise, shut everything down. But we are back. We're going to get through this interview. We have a lot to talk about. Dr. E is with us on tonight. He is a brother, a close brother and friend of Awesome God Radio. He has co-host with us several times. Yeah, more than twice, more than two times, and has been on various shows. You guys download the Awesome God Radio app today. If you don't already have it, you should already have it. If you don't, you are missing out. Download the Awesome God Radio app today. Listen live. You could be listening on there right now. Thank you so very much. Subscribe to my channel, Chat with Kat and Friends. It is a wellness network. Email me your information, Trina W at awesomeguardradio.com. I'd love to chat with you. I'd love to sit with you, and just discuss how it all came about. Some of those humble beginnings, some of the lessons that were learned on the way. That's what this network is all about, you guys. I have I'm so just overly excited about the network, and just the intent and purpose is to remind you, because there are days and times and moments, there may be hours that we go through our day and we just forget how super special, wonderful, and awesome we are, and not in a high and pious manner, but in a manner that brings about humility, in a manner that brings about encouragement of self, right? Encouragement of self in a manner that brings about and shouts excellence and achievement. We all have that within us. I pray that you know that you have it within you as well, that you're moving, not by the speed of light, but that you're just moving in response and in tune with God, to how he would have you to move and utilize your gifts, with your neighbors, with your family, with your various communities, career wise, and organizations that you are affiliated with. I am so glad to be with you again on tonight. We're going to bring forth Dr. So we can go ahead and begin this interview. It is going to be fantastic. You guys have any questions, please post them, I will try my best to highlight them, show them, and bring some discussion to them. If not, we've got a lot. We've got a lot. So just sit back if you want. Just sit back and listen. Look, have a few laughs because we're going to have some fun as well. Have a few laughs. Kick back. Thank you so very much. If you can't stay on back, share this live. Thank you so very much in advance. I appreciate you so much. Sad news today that we received that Colin Powell, the first Black U.S. Secretary of State, passed away on today. That is very sad news. Our hearts go out to his family, condolences to his family and friends, constituents, and all of those that have supported him along his journey. I believe that he was there, was present. He did so many amazing things. He was there to bridge the gap, some things to light or trying to be hidden. So without further ado, let me bring forth Dr. So all of them, thank you so very much. Share this live if you will. Please subscribe to my channel, Chat with Kat and Friends. It's the Wellness Network. All right, here comes E. There's a little sluggish thing going on here, and I'm so sorry about that. But here we go. Here we go. Great evening, sir.
Hey, how are you, sis? How you doing, Kat? How are you?
I'm well. I'm well. I'm super excited. How about you?
I am always, to be with my AGR family, and just to share with you and,
Right.
Kat and friends, and just to be able to just celebrate and just talk about how faithful God is and just the things that God is doing, but any privilege and opportunity to share of his goodness and just in general to inspire and to encourage somebody else.
Amen. I'm sorry you right leg. Can you hear Dr. E?
I can hear you.
Okay, there's a slight lag, but we're going to push on and just be grateful and thankful for this time that we have to share together. Yes, we're going to talk about the wonderful what grace and blessings God has bestowed upon us. Because in your hey, silent professor, good evening. So in your in your walk and as growing up, as you have come to mature in the gospel, as you have come to be the author, the speaker, the look, and as an author you are a writer, I mean, and just so many other things you've garnered along the way. I will bring up a couple of, I have to put on my glasses, you guys. You know what's bad when you can't read your own handwriting?
Yeah, look, I got
So
mine right here.
look, but before we get into any of my questions, tell us a little bit about your latest project, your latest bookseller that you just dropped here recently. Tell us about it.
The
I
book that
have
I
the latest
just
one, right?
Yeah, which is my next season is due season, and then I co-authored a
Uh-huh.
couple that was just released. But my next season is due season, which I just released not long ago. After the power of the seed, and so it is a book that helps prepare people and to understand, even from in connection with the power of the seed, but then a little bit further in the process and preparation of being ready and the whole process of before I get to my next season. There's a process, there's preparation, and that you cannot skip the
Right.
seasons. You cannot skip the process and preparation in order to get to your next and whatever your next might be. And, our next season, we've got to prepare. And so the book really helps you to understand that whole process and preparation and knowing that you got to stay ready. You got to be prepared, but
Stay
you'll
ready.
see the harvest, you'll see the season, you'll endure one season to get to the next, but it takes all of that from the beginning is process and preparation.
Wow. Amen. You know what? That's good stuff right there. That is very good. And it's so to everybody because you a lot in the process of waiting due to anxiousness, due to your present circumstance, that may be calling out to whatever it is that you're on your way to, it's so many different things that play a part in how we prepare. And you were sharing with me, and we're not going to get into it too much, but sharing with me about the message that you are bringing forth tomorrow night. And it sounds so much, it all has something to do with the subject of waiting, of maintaining yourself in the wait, how you do that in a honorable manner that brings glory to God and brings blessings to you. So that's awesome. You released that, you said not too long ago. My season is due season. You guys, I purchased a copy of Dr. E's book. And it's wonderful. So wonderful because it gives you so many of those tips that are needed. And it helps you, not that you don't know, but it helps you with perspective and drawing things that maybe perhaps you weren't originally thinking about. So that's what I love about the book. What are any next projects that you have? And we look, you guys, I'm sorry, we're going to go back after this, talk about the now. I want to get that all out, because sometimes more people can come at the beginning and then they have to
Mhm.
leave, and that's okay,
Yeah.
because this is on YouTube, Chat with Kat Andrews. But what do you have coming up next? What's going on?
I actually am working on another book, which I sent it to one of my friends for editing, which is a project called How to Handle Patience and Endurance. And so I've been working on that.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it's pretty much done, but in editing. So once they send it back, we go forward, with all the different, corrections and stuff like that. And then just working on different things with Life Coach School of Arkansas, which I am actually the director of recruitment. So I'm super excited about that. And so we have a lot coming up and coming down, of course, to the end of the year, but already preparing for the upgrade for 2022 for this magnificent, phenomenal. It's called the Coaching's Marketing Mix, which we're going to be doing in Tampa. And so it's going to be absolutely
Wow.
phenomenal, but it gives coaches an
Wow.
opportunity in our school to share, and I'll help them get prepared in the meeting and for the speaking and stuff like that. And so that's really like super exciting. Then I have, of course, with me finishing next month for the John Hopkins Leadership Academy. So, God has just been doing some great things. And one of the other things, I just got to wait for them to do the
Great.
fly to release it. So I'll share with
Yeah.
you afterwards. But it's something great that's going to be coming up, and I'm super excited about that. And so it's the season which I've been telling people of divine connection, the season of
Yep.
collaboration, the season of the power of networking. But you got to be divinely connected in this season. Let me just park right here for a minute. My friend Arnetta, we also was a co-author of a book. But yesterday, when I got back from PA, I went to a release thing for a premiere for my buddy Mikey J, who's here from New York for his
Hmm.
movie, um, and Help This Romantic. And so the thing about it is, I was talking with my friend, and God divinely connected me to be able to refer her for the movie. And so one of the things we were talking about is,
Wow.
just how this season of she sent me a post today, which was a blessing. But how God divinely, I
Hmm.
thought I was going to be a part, but yet and still, He allowed me to shift and allow me to divinely connect her. And because that's a lane of hers, that's something she does more than me being in the film. But here's it is how God strategically does what He does. But then I always can remember the words of the late Apostle Evans: what you make happen for others, God will make happen for you. But I'm still a part because I'm sharing about the film. I'm networking, and so that whole season of the power of networking, that season of divine collaboration, and the season of divine connection, it is so needed in this season. But make sure that it's divinely connected.
Yeah. Is wow, and that is so awesome. And that's what look, that's what we do here. That's what we do here on Chat with Cat and Friends. And prayerfully you guys are receiving all of this information that you're getting right here. And it's just helping you with a perspective because maybe you're feeling like things aren't going the way that you feel like they should. You kind of setting things up, and maybe door to door, you're getting no's and all of those things. But we want to encourage you to know to keep on going, keep networking, be prepared. That's the just stay prepared because I'm telling you, all of those no's or maybes or unanswered phone calls and emails, look, that is preparation for you to just have the courage that you need to work those gifts and tools that God has given you, right? So I have a quick question, a few quick questions, Dr. E. But we didn't talk about this, but I was looking at some of your information, and you have received so many various honors and awards. You have received so many honors and awards, and one of your latest awards is Civility Award. Now, how does one come about being recognized? I looked up that organization, and you know what I saw? You guys, listen to this. I saw a king in some part of Africa. Like, how do you even get recognized for a thing like that? World Civility Award. What in How does that happen? How does that happen? I mean, and congratulations to you on that. What an awesome honor and awesome accolade to have. I mean, to be admonished at, for your efforts. It's like, yes, what I'm doing, not that you need it or not that you even want it, but the fact that what I'm sewing into, what I'm doing is, it's making impact, and it means a whole lot to not just my small circle, but to, on a larger scale. You were awarded the World Civility Award. So tell us, how did that come about? How did they reach out to you? How were you tapped on the shoulder? Hey, sir, Dr. E.
It's so I'm humbled and honored because even when I got the letter in reference to the World Civility Award, which I went to in July to Gary, Indiana, to actually meet Sir Clyde Rivers, who was like a mentor, big brother. He's like all over the world. And he is
Wow.
the epitome of civility and bringing civility back.
Mhm.
But he had been watching and seeing. And, when I got the letter, I was like, wow. And I kept reading this letter, like, wow. But in divine connections, actually, I was divinely connected to him through Dr. Betty Speaks, who actually we just released. I was one of the co-authors for the book, Leaders Embracing New Direction, with Sir Clyde actually did the forward. But when we divinely connected, and I was on a show with them in March, it was just that divine connection. They had no idea. They had been watching and seeing, and you never. It's so true. It's not a click. Someone is always watching, and I had no idea. And so once I
Always.
received the letter, because um it was so amazing. And so when I was setting everything up to go to Gary, Indiana, it was such a blessing because, even that's why I talk about the delay part. There's a blessing in it because when we were in,
Mhm.
for the pandemic hit, we were out of the country and so in Aruba, and our flight got delayed. I gave up my seat. Who knew that 2 years later I would be using the plane ticket and having to go to get this
Wow.
award and not having to pay for the plane ticket, and then still had a credit
Wow.
to use when I went to Atlanta. And so here's the thing. That whole world civility, I've met so many people that I am divinely connected to, but Sir Clyde is so honorable. He's such an inspiration. He's such an encouragement. And if you look him up, man, like in God, like he's just all over the world. But he's so humble and he's always encouraging and inspiring. And I met so many people, Congress and the Chamber of Commerce, and we did a tour, and I was just like all over Indiana. But everybody in there, like all the people I met from across the world, and some were in the book that we just released for authors across the world.
Mhm.
And so now I'm divinely connected to these people. And so I tell people he's shifting, he's changing, he's turning the page and turning the chapter.
Wow. I mean, you guys, if you doubted the favor of God, if you doubted that God isn't gonna do whatever it is that you're doing, let me tell you right here. It's like it's in the and then though in the sorry. I'm excited. I'm excited. This is super exciting to me because I love God and the way that He moves and the way that He does and how He loves us. So it's just it's expressed even in when you're in the things, even when you're stressfulness of a situation, or things are just not working out. His love is still there, where it allows you to have those divine connections, right? It allows you to be receiving of other connections that are like-minded in you, that are like-minded in the things that you do and all of those things. Wow, wonderful. I just saw that and was like, how did that happen? I mean, I go to the page and there's people from all over, just like you said, from all over the world who have been acknowledged, who are renowned in their own right. And I'm like, how you're from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Perfect.
Like it's like hello me from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. God is good. God is good, and you have definitely and you're well within the receiving right of every accolade that you've ever gotten, every award that you've ever received. Congratulations to you and above, just overflowing to above and beyond for all of those. So I wanted to stretch out a little bit and ask you about your humble beginnings. So what was, and I did text you about it. What was your very first job? What was your very first job?
My very first job
Because
was a
see,
paper route.
you guys know,
It was a paper
yeah,
route. And that's why he said,
okay,
if you be faithful over a few things, he'll make you rule over many. So you could just think about that. But it was a paper route, and I was committed because I remember having to take over my nephew's route, my oldest nephew. I had to take over his route. And so from there, I end up doing the paper route. And I loved it. You get to meet, and that's where back then you met people and the neighbors, and everybody was excited about getting a Sunday
right,
paper.
right,
They really subscribed to it. We're
hmm,
more advanced now, and people still get it. But far as back then, people were, I mean, the cutting out coupons and reading the newspaper and so many different things. And during those times,
hmm,
they would give you like gifts during the holidays, and you could do all of that. And we were community. You could go through the community, and
right,
people looked out for you, and they were just super excited. And so I started doing from that until when I turned 13 to start working at our summer programs, which we had, and it was called Setco. And so we started out those summer programs, and we loved it. It's a whole different breed now because we love those summer programs and being able to buy your own school clothes. We went to work
yeah,
every day, but our parents taught us that work ethic. We went to work. You know what I'm saying? And we enjoyed it, but it gave
right,
us what we needed as we were going to journey through life. And so that's where it all started. And from there, I've like been working
right.
like ever since. So
Wow. I just wanted to know, and I just want look if there are young people, any young people watching, look, and even us who are a little seasoned, you need to know that there are humble beginnings. That everybody starts somewhere, and it's not always at the top, and it's not always going to go your way, and things like that. So there are humble beginnings. There are roads and paths that we all have to take. Not compared to anyone else. Who would know? Who would have known that? Um, that you started out as a paper boy. You went on and you worked in different community activities and things like that. I think, did you say to me that you worked at McDonald's as well?
Yeah, I worked at McDonald's. I worked at our Wise supermarket. And then from there, when I got
Mm-hmm.
in school, in high school, then I began to work for the government, in 10th grade, and then 11th IBM, you know, um and in
Okay.
12th grade I was at IBM. 10th and 11th I was working for the government for Mechanicsburg Navy Depot,
Mm-hmm.
in Department of Transportation, and then in audits department where we dealt with pure drugs and all of that, the quality assurance, where I dealt with all of that coming in. And so, I've been working, but it gave us the balance. It gave us that what we
Right.
needed. And so that's why now, even when we go to work, or, we see now how people don't want to come, and we ain't talking before the pandemic and all that, when the pandemic hit, because this was before the pandemic, people
Right.
didn't want to, but to
Before the
know that
pandemic,
when I came
dreaming the
through,
pandemic.
yeah, we would come through weather, if it snowed, or, we came to work and we were good employees. And so, but it
Right.
started because what was instilled in us. And so now when we do, it's in us. So what's in you is going to come out of you, good or bad.
Yeah. Right. You're so right. You're so right. And it was all, look, and look at you now, writing books on preparation, on waiting, and all of that. I tell my daughter, and I told my sons, and growing, parenting them and them growing up, that this, like, childhood is like, um it's like the practice for your adult life. It's like whatever the things that you sow into, and the things that you learn, the different situations that you're in and circumstances that you encounter, all of those things, don't take them for granted.
My God, no.
Elementary school, high school, middle school, what have you, all of those things, all of the chores, all of the whatever it is that you're doing, all of the going to church, sitting in church services, it's all preparing you for something later in your life. So, and how it all ties together, it's just like mind blowing right now, as I'm saying it and as we're talking about it. And your books are so heavily laden with information, signets about preparation, being prepared, waiting it out, and how to do so, in an honorable way, and how to do so in a way that still has you at the ready. You're still at the ready. Whatever it is, you're still at the ready, not letting anything take you totally out. Things will come, and you'll feel however you feel, bad, disgusted, disappointed, and all of those things, but keep on going. So that's what I get from your journey. That's what I get from your journey, is to just keep on going. And when the door opens, be ready. Be ready. When that connection comes, be ready. So standing at, thank you so much for sharing sharing some of your humble beginnings for us, because sometimes it's far from us to think that, of course, no one is holier than thou, but sometimes there's this thought that, oh, they never went through anything, and everything was
Mhm.
handed to them, and whatever. And even if it was, it's what I did with what I had. It's not that it
Mhm.
was given to me, but what, because somebody could give you $1 million today. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? You have to have the knowledge, and you have to have the wisdom in order to do so much with that, more than spending it frivolously or what have you. So, what do you have coming up as far as speaking engagements? Because you just had one in your hometown of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Am I saying that right? It is
Yeah,
Harrisburg, right?
Harrisburg, PA. Yes. I did a
Okay.
book. I did a book signing, and tomorrow I'm one of the speakers for our evangelistical service at 7 p.m. Y'all, the Bethel Temple Church of Christ, 3910 West Rogers Avenue. Pray for you, bull. Always an
Okay.
honor and a privilege to share God's word, and then of course, I have I have class, and then we'll be doing a session for Life Coach School of Arkansas, but Then I have a couple of other interviews, radio interviews coming up. So I'm super excited about that. And, just preparing for what God has. And like you said, people have no idea the experiences that people may go through or to get to where they are. Because I just remember even from 3 years ago, and God's so amazing. That's why I was telling people, you got to see things from another perspective, because God said,
Yeah.
even in this wilderness experience 3 years ago, don't compromise your promise and settle for less. It's worth the wait. I'm going to show you how to navigate through the wilderness to get to the promise. There's no expiration date to the promise. There's no expiration date to his word. But
Right.
how we handle the middle process is the importance. How we handle and how we respond is going to determine the outcome. And so I was in between positions. I was in between our Bayview campus and our East campus, where I originally been working at, but yet and still in the in between, there was a wilderness experience. But in the wilderness experience,
Mm.
I learned more, I prayed more, but here it is. But the blessing in the whole middle of it, I wrote one book, co-authored another book, then co-authored another book. But it's in that whole process, but how you look at it, how you see it, how you perceive it. But here it is,
Right.
as my bishop would always say, we can't go through, the word tells us that we can't go through mumbling and grumbling and complaining, because you can hold what God has. And even like with my old department, you can't harbor stuff. You gotta forgive. Even, I mean, God
Yeah.
woke me up and said, you gotta forgive you even when they've done you wrong. You got to release and
Yeah.
let it go. And so here's it is, because you could
Yeah.
hold up what he has, and I could have held up all that he had on the other side by doing so. And so you've got to look at things from another perspective. You got to see it different, but then you got to see it through the eyes of faith. It was preparation. It was in processing and in the preparation
Yeah.
what he was already prepared, because he already knew. And so I just had to go through it to get to the other side of it. But the promise, just like, what came, the promise was just waiting for me to show up. It was already there.
Right. It was already there. It was just waiting for you to show up. Look, that reminds me of, and I'm gonna share this really quickly. That reminds me of when I got my orders to go to Iraq, when I was active duty Air Force, and I got my
Mhm.
orders to go to Iraq. I was so scared. I was mad at God. I was, oh my gosh, how could you send me over here? And oh man, you guys just don't know. But I was mad, I was scared. I was everything, but a child of God at that time. I was everything but that. But I'm gonna tell you, over there in Iraq, bombs flying over and all of that stuff, devastation to the land and everything. I got close to God in that time. Then it was a time much needed. That's a
Mhm.
perspective that I have come to gain and come to the knowledge of after the fact. And even during, because I had to get over all of that stuff I was feeling. I had to get over that.
Right.
And I actually, man, just did a 360. Just did a 360. And just to say, it was all in preparation. It was all in preparation for my relationship with him, to bring me and draw me closer to him, because I never had the time that I had there, although we were busy and there were things going on and all of those things. My worship time, worshiping with Marines, uh, Navy personnel. I
Yes.
mean, it was just awesome. It was so awesome. I made so many great connections in no situation. We're in a war situation, so man, I'll leave it at that. Just for the sake of time, I'll leave it at that. But it was so awesome, and coming out of that, I came to understand and know that it was for preparation. It was for preparation of my faith, to tune my faith. You know what, we about to have we about to have church, right? It was preparation though, you guys. So, we're encouraging you and trying to inspire you guys to look at your situations from a different lens, from a um God reverencing lens, if you will. Not one that's not of reality, not that you have to escape of your situation, but look at it from a godly, spiritual minded lens. He's giving you that. And it'll change everything. It'll change everything. The hate that you harbor, the unforgiveness that you have, all of those things will dissipate. It's not an easy thing. You can't do it yourself. I couldn't do it myself. You couldn't do it yourself. With
Mhm.
God, that's part of the things that are impossible. That's a part of those impossibilities that God helps to bring you to and through and over and all of those great things. Man, wow. I just wanted to share that because that took me right there when you were saying that. It took me right
Yeah.
there when I was in a wartime situation and I couldn't see at first, because I'm mad, I'm angry, I'm distraught, I'm disheveled, I'm all of these other words, right? But he showed me something so much more and something so much different at that time. So how are you preparing these days? What are you doing to prepare for, because you're in the midst of authoring a book right now that you said, right? So what are
Yeah.
you doing to prepare for that?
Well,
How are you
I've already had been preparing and just in the
mm-hmm,
process of going back through, looking, writing, and then sent it to someone who is a writer, who does it and getting paid a lot to do, and to look over, to edit, send it back, and then send it to one of the individuals I'm going to be working with. And so you need all of that. And I learned that too, from one of my, I call her, she's like a mother, aunt, mentor, all of that, from Miss Sherpala Williamson, who I
mm-hmm,
co-authored several books with: Soulful Prayer, Volume 1, Volume 2, Soulful Affirmations. But she would pour and she would say, if you serve, you won't have to ask, but you got to stay ready. You got to be ready so you don't have to get ready. But here's the thing, with being able to,
right,
so that in your circle, somebody's got to be smarter than you. If I'm trying to be a millionaire, who is in
mm-hmm.
my circle that's a millionaire? If I want to own a radio station, who's in my circle that owns a radio station? And so you got, as I use this all the time, and I say this, you got to know your circle, you got to know your team. Who is in your circle and who is on your team? And so I'm having them
Mm-hmm.
look over after all I did. So when I get it back, you know what I'm saying? You've got to have people. So that process, that preparation, somebody may catch something you don't see. And then the other person may see
Yeah,
what they didn't see, but it's all coming together for one common thing: to release a good product. And so I'm excited about that, to be working with that. And definitely, I told him I need to get this done for the end of the year. But always the timing and
right.
season of God, because it's all within His timing, and that in the timing that things are released. Every book that I did and every one that I co-authored, it was in the timing and season of God that it was released. Soulful Prayer Volume 1 and Volume 2 was released when we needed prayer like never before. Soulful Affirmation, when we
Mm-hmm.
definitely needed to know and what we believe and what we write, what we journal. And even for the other project we released, Leaders Embracing New Direct, we're in a whole different dimension. We're in a whole another era in society of dealing with even leadership and good leadership. And so we've come to make an impact. We've come to make an imprint. And so each one of those were released in the timing and season of God. That's why I tell people, going back to the first one, the power, you cannot rush the seed. You cannot rush the process, because a seed
Right.
will germinate through the underground process to get to the set time and season to produce the harvest that what you've planted. However, the middle process, the timing of season, because there's seasons, there's climate change. Everything does not grow in the same season. Everything, even for us, we don't all
Right.
develop in the same timing and season. And so you cannot rush the process.
Mm-hmm. That's, man, that is word. I'm praying y'all receive that. I receive it. Receive that. I feel like I know you're talking to me, so I receive that. So if look, if Dr. E is talking to you, and I'm sure he is on some level, may you receive the nugget he's dropping here on today for mind you. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Now you have three or four other books as well that you have authored. You have self-published. So which books have you self-published?
Just the second one, it was actually kind of a duel. self-published and a publisher.
Okay.
One for
Okay.
phenomenal for Evangelist Annette Morton, her graphic design and all of that. She did the book design, the cover, the layout. And then with my friend Monet, she did the other portion of with the KDP and uploading and making sure everything was ready. So it was kind of a dual thing. And so it was amazing
Yeah.
because the first book was published through Purposely Creative Publishing. And then all the other books I co-authored, they were published through the publishers.
Awesome. Look, you guys, he's got that team means team, having that great solid team behind you that's going to that's just going to hold you up and let you know when there's air, or let you know when there's accolades that need to be said. I mean, it's just awesome and wonderful to hear of your journey, of how you've made it, how you're making it, and how you're get to the community and helping through life coaching, helping others see the exemplary, well, maybe exemplary isn't the right word, but the extraordinary person that they can be, on all sides, on all sides, and everything matters. So, and that's what Chat with Cat and Friends, the Wellness Network, is all about. Emerge Wellness as well is just all about helping others to see. Sometimes it just gets so hard because of all of the tales of life, the trials, and just the different situations that we all face. It gets hard to see and realize and receive the greatness that has put inside of you. And it's not to just lay around, mope around, be this melancholy visual. There may be a time for that. I'm not saying that there may be a time for that, but not to stay stuck in that
Mhm.
position. Always having a posture ready, always coming back, bouncing back, to have a posture to keep going and to keep rising. So that's what I hear from you, and all the work, previous work, your concept books, and this one that you have just authored, to remind us about the seed, to remind us about cultivating and in relation to actual planting, and growing things,
Mhm.
harvesting things. We have this very thing to do, in our lives. Thank you so very much for bringing that to life for us, for bringing perspective and reminding us, because it can escape us at any time. It can escape us
Yeah.
at any time. So, what has been your what would you say has been one of your biggest struggles? Not Yeah, what would you say would be one of the things, the struggle? I'm going to change that. What would you say would be the thing that you're working on now to improve, like concerning yourself, or that you've seen that needs to be smoothed out a little bit? If you could share with us that.
Yeah, continue to grow, to mature, and die daily to self. As even as the word said, because there's always room
Mhm.
for improvement, there's always room for growth. And even as the script, let a man examine himself. We want to be all we can be for God,
Yeah.
and not only that, we always want to continue to grow and to mature and develop. I want to be even a better writer, so I continue to perfect my craft. I want to be even a better speaker, so I just graduated dealing with powerful public speaking and from the Cary Business School. And I'm ever learning in class. I want to be a better teacher, the better preacher, but you got to perfect your
Right.
craft. Not only that, you got to pray, you got to read the word, you got to be with people that can part. Thank God. Happy clergy month too, y'all, to all the clergy. But I thank God for my awesome pastor
Yeah.
and my first lady. And so people that will pour into you, like he gives us an opportunity to share and say it, like tomorrow evangelistical service, helping us and to develop more to be all we can be for God. And so you need people that will pour and help you in your journey to push you. But it all starts with you, and you got to change your mindset and your perspective. Because if anybody
Yes.
says, I don't care how many books I have written, and they all been a blessing that they are all bestsellers. My books, I've been favored that they're in the libraries. The Power of the Seed is like all
Mhm.
over the place, like literally 1 to
Wow.
2020 Reader's Choice Award. But even with that, being in Baltimore County Libraries, Baltimore City, Dauphin County, Westminster, Carroll County, in Australia, in Mexico. However, I still gotta still be humble enough and privileged enough to say God has given me something, a gift, and I'll always am perfecting, always trying to be better because he's the only perfect one. And so if you don't work on you,
Mm,
you sure can't help nobody else. And I even teach this with when we're dealing with coaches, even in public speaking, getting them ready. You know, I got to do an orientation on this coming Wednesday, and then right after that class. And we're dealing with media. As much as I'm in the media, I'm sitting under my little awesome, amazing sister because that's what she do on a daily. Not only that, she's a recording artist, but she's in studio, she's on my, and she's traveling, but she's in
wow.
even what I don't know. And so you can never think that you've arrived. And I said this to them in one of my trainings when I dealt with building confidence and we're bragging on God. See, people, there's a difference, and I just said this, that there's a difference when people are
Yeah.
conceited and all. I'm bragging like my bishop preaching. I got bragging rights. I'm bragging on the God that I serve. It's him who allowed me to do what I do. And so when I'm sharing with them about building confidence and public speaking and sharing with them and dealing with the topics, that we're bragging on the God that we serve. And so for every opportunity
Mm,
that he gives, we're always, and the last thing I said to them, if you cease to learn, you cease to grow. Wherever I got notes all over the place, every class, in my leadership class, all of that. If my bishop's preaching, I'm writing, because if we cease to learn, we cease to grow. I don't care all these awards, all of this stuff. If I cease to learn, I cease to grow.
there you
So I'm
have it.
working
I
on me
mean, and
there.
that's there you have it. Like for everybody, for all the everything. If when you cease to learn, wow, you cease to grow, and that is also true. I was just sharing that with my daughter the other day. You know, always become you know I don't know, but as a parent, there are these moments that I get, and I just want to sit and talk, and I'm like sharing all of this stuff. I don't know, I don't know what's going on, but I need you to know, to always be a learner,
Hmm.
always be a learner, and always seek to grow. You won't always like every subject matter and everything like that, but always have an inclination to want to learn and to have more of of information, because that's so wise. That will take you so much farther than we could ever imagine, because when we maintain that posture, then that means that we can be of use. That means that there is some adaptation of whatever we've learned or we sat under,
Hmm.
that is going inside of us. That's what that means. There's a possibility, because when you don't learn and you're not growing, there stops your possibilities. There's your possibilities kind of get stagnant. The
Hmm.
ideas resurfacing. There are no ideas because I'm not even reaching forward. You know what? Thank you so very much. What is where can we find your books? Where can we find you next? Well, you're speaking tomorrow, but where will we find you at your next book signing? Do you have an upcoming book signing? Give us
I'm
all the details.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm waiting for the day because Harrisburg, one of the
Okay.
pastors, where I went to worship, just to share with them, surprise one of my friends, she was preaching, so she didn't know I was going to be there. But they actually want me to come back up there and to do a book signing at the church. And so I'm just waiting for the
Oh
date.
wow.
So I'll post it, people can follow, but I can be on it's on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, or listen, I just got a shipment in. You can definitely get one of these because these are the ones I just got in, because the other ones are gone.
Okay.
But you definitely want to get this because you know what? It's going to help you. It's going to help you with if you struggle in tithing, giving, seeding, sowing, process preparation. This book will really help you because this is not just a book, it's a divine assignment. Because when God gave it, none of my books, they're divine assignments. They're not just books. And because when he gave it, it was a
Right.
divine assignment, and I flowed with the assignment that he gave. And so, but it will help you and to understand because believe it or not, so many people are struggling even in their giving. People are struggling in their tithing. People are struggling, even with waiting and looking for the harvest, or or when am my it's going to happen, and a lot of people are. But this will help you. Your seed does have power. Christ being the ultimate seed for us, but it all starts with a seed. And if you don't understand that, even if people are struggling, how to be good stewards, this is really going to help you. So it's
Right.
on Amazon, Barnes and Noble. Message me, hit me up. I will sign one, get it to you. Email. Drop it in the mail or even meet you. But definitely, you do want to definitely get a copy of that. And I tell people, it's not just about a sale. It's about a soul. It's about inspiration. It's about encouragement, because I've been favored and blessed.
Right.
It's been phenomenal with the power of the seed. And I have taught it even in Africa via Zoom, this technology. But here's the thing. It's all about planting that seed, and for people to grab hold so they don't get weary while they're waiting. So they, as Paul says, we don't have to get weary. We got a harvest coming. Or he reminds us, Isaiah says he gives seed to the sower. He tells us in Genesis 8:20, as long as the earth remains, there shall be seed time and harvest. So we don't have to get weary. If I planted, if I sowed, that's why when it rained, you get excited because you got seed in the ground. As William Murphy sings that song, you got seed in the ground. So it's watering my harvest. And so whether it's for your children's college tuition, and see, that's the thing, it's not just about money. It is seed. I'm planting seed, say,
Mm-hmm.
for your children to be successful. I'm praying for healing for my family. So I name my seed where I need my seed to go.
Yeah.
Then I seal it with a praise.
Yes. Yes. I mean, wow. I'm just sitting here. I'm taking it all in. I'm loving it. I'm taking it all in, and I receive it. I pray that you guys receive everything that Dr. E was sharing with us on tonight concerning planting, sowing, cultivation, all of those things, waiting, praying and waiting, and allowing the process to do what it does, allowing the process to do what it does, even when you're in the thick of it, even when you're in a wartime situation. God has much in store for you. There is preparation for where you're going. Your next steps, there is preparation for that. You know what? Did you have any parting last words or gems that you want to leave with us, Dr. I
I
know
do.
have had you on today.
Yeah, I do. First of all, thank you, sis. Always amazing to chat it up with you, talk. I thank God even for Awesome God Radio, my brother. All of y'all allow me to be a part of
Yeah.
the journey from the infancy to even now and until yet where it's going. And so thank God for the privilege and opportunity that he gives platform so we can share. But I just want to say, I want people to be encouraged even in this season. And even when it looks like things are not moving, when it looks like things are not shifting and growing, you got to change your perspective, change your mind, and change your posture, shift into a posture of prayer and praise. But here it is. Don't let your visions and dreams die, and don't allow others to cause them to die. Go back, take another look. Or as I say in Life Coach School of Arkansas, stop, process, and think. Go back and take another look. Go back and revisit, as God told me, the goals and the dreams is still good. The promise is still good. Go back, revisit, take a pivotal moment, and then move forward. And so whatever you do, hang in there just long enough. Hold on just a little while longer. Any day, he going to show up. Any day, the promise. Any day, the blessing. Any day, the miracle. Any day, the prayer is going to be answered. You just got to hang in there long enough. You got to hold on long enough to see the manifestation of it. So whatever you do, understand this. Work the lane he's given you. Stay in your lane and stay focused, like with the turtle and the rabbit that I put in this book. He stayed focused on the finish line. He did not get distracted by the rabbit who was faster, who started out. And so don't you get distracted about those who start out ahead of you, or those who may seem that they running faster, because as the scripture said, the race is not given to the swift nor the battle to the strong. Here's the whole thing. Just endure to the end. Because guess what?
Yes.
Whether you come in first, second, third, or fourth, if
Yeah.
you cross the finish line, a prize is a prize. You just may not have the gold, you may not have silver
Mm-hmm.
or bronze, but guess what? It said I endured it. It said that I didn't give up and I didn't quit. And so the whole endurance is just stay in the race, y'all. It'll be worth it. It'll be worth the
Just,
wait.
just
Keep
stay in the
waiting on
race.
God. Just stay in the race.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Ending us on a high note. I am so thankful for your presence on today. Thank you for your yes. Thank you for even we had to reschedule at least once. Thank you so much for hanging in there with me and just getting things settled. I thank you so much for your wisdom that you share with us on today. You guys check out the ebooks on Amazon. He will connect with him. He will drop the book off, meet you, and just give you that blessing. Or there'll be an exchange for that blessing, and I just thank God for you on today. What is it, Nancy? Things are escaping me right now, but that's it for us on today. I will see you later, Dr. E. Thank you so much for sharing with us, for imparting your wisdom to us, for sharing. So you gave us some subsections of your book. Like it was a little cheat. It was a little cheat for us. We got some subsections of your book, and I thank you so much for that. I am so honored to have you here. I'm just the same as you are. Thank you for your encouragement and inspiration. I look to you as a mentor, actually as well. So I thank you so very much. Keep doing what you are doing. Keep doing what you are doing. God be praised for your life on today. And look, we'll chat it up again. Forward to
Yeah.
having you as a co-host, a sitting host for the
Yeah.
Good Life Gospel Show, or on any of the Awesome God radios. And
Thank you.
we thank you so very much for your friendship and our connection. Thank you.
Thank you. Having an amazing rest of the week.
You too. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Wow. That was amazing. That was amazing. I pray that you guys got all of those nuggets. It was the whole show. It was just all information, all encouragement. And that's what it mostly is all the time. But he just brought some extra. He brought some extra with it. And I pray that you guys were receiving of that. All of the information that he shared concerning his book, concerning contacting him, reaching him, and things of that nature, will be posted in the description section of this video. Look, and I wanted to say, and pardon me, because I had to get up and plug in my device. I had to get up and plug in my device. So that's what I was doing back here. I had to get up and reach down for my plug. But because I was running on low power and I don't want my laptop to turn off. But I thank you guys so very much for joining us on tonight. I pray that you will join me on next Monday. Pastor Burris will be my guest. If not, you know what? We'll have a fill-in to fill in that gap for the show. But every Monday at 6 p.m., chat with Kat and friends. Touch that notification bell so that you'll be notified each time an awesome piece of content is uploaded to this channel, and it does happen all throughout the week. I am so blessed, and last week was kind of hectic for me. Friday I didn't get to post up my video as I typically do on Friday, so you know what, we will start fresh again this week, and I'll see you guys on Wellness Wednesday and get a few in for this week. Thank you so very much. But touch that notification bell so whenever a video is uploaded or content is added to the network, you will be privy to it. This is a wellness network. Please send in any topic suggestions or any referrals that you would like for me to sit down and chat with. I welcome them. I love you guys. I pray that you stay inspired and encouraged. I pray that you just stay on top, stay on knowing that you are awesome, you are the best. These are things that we have to constantly, sometimes some of us more than others, have to say to ourselves in order to keep on going, in order to not give up on the idea or that dream or the purpose that we have. God has given each of us purpose. He's given you vision. He's given you all of these things. You have all the tools that you need, especially for your right now situation, and you're moving. May you stay in preparation to your next, and may you continue on to your next level and the next level. And look, take others with you too. Or you know what? Not take others with you, but share your information. Everybody can't go, y'all. Have you heard that message yet? You need to go to Abundant Harvest. Abundant Harvest, harvestworld.org. Everybody can't go. Everybody can't go. But God be praised for your lives on tonight. I thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your subscriptions, new subscribers, and those who have subscribed in the past. Please share my channel. Thank you so very much. As I've said, all of the information will be in the description section. Check it out. Check out this book right here. Look, and I have on his card, he has The Power of the Seed. And you probably can't even see it because it's so little, but The Power of the Seed, and all of Dr. E's books, the co-authored books and his very own writings have everything to do with cultivating, seed planting, growth, and all of those things, and can be likened to planting and farming and stuff, which is also what we need to pour into ourselves as well, and into our children. Make sure, you guys, we are boasting up our children, that we're letting them know how wonderfully magnificent they are, how much they mean to you each and every day on a daily basis. Pour into them daily. I encourage you, I inspire you to do so. That's it for me. I thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for your prayers, your support, your well wishes, and all of that. All of that. Keep on praying for me. I am definitely praying for you. Hey, and I'll put the shout out for Thursday's prayer. And look, we might have some rescheduling, but for now, Thursday prayer at 8 p.m. I will find a way to get that posted on my YouTube channel, so you guys can call in with the code and everything, and have prayer with us, or send in your prayer requests. This is a we thing. It's very individual. Yes, indeed it is. But prayer, this is a we thing. We can come together in prayer. We don't have to be physically together. You can be far away, and it doesn't even matter. But God be praised for your life on today. I pray that you have a wonderful and fabulous rest of the night. I will see you later on this week. Subscribe to Chat with Kat and Friends. Download the Great Awesome God Radio app. We'll see you guys every Saturday too on the Good Life Gospel Show. Tune in, you guys. Support. Send in any information that you would like for us to shout out. Birthday shout outs, anniversary shout outs, accolades of every kind. Big shout out to all the birthdays for this week. October is a big birthday month in my family. Shout out to all of the October birthdays for this week. Everyone who I have probably missed, you know who you are. I praise God for you. Have a great and fabulous night, you guys. Thank you so much for joining. Good night.